The sun rises over the restless waters of the Lagos lagoon, casting golden light on wooden boats swaying in the morning mist. The sounds of the city awaken, traders calling, engines rumbling, seagulls crying. But in a forgotten corner, where the water turns dark and quiet, a solitary figure works. This is Uzoma Silva. He is perhaps 30 years old, though no one knows for certain. His skin is dark as midnight, his hands calloused from years of shaping wood. He wears simple clothes, faded trousers, and a worn shirt, and moves with the precision of a craftsman who knows his trade intimately. But Uzoma has never spoken a single word. Not to the fishermen who mock him, not to the women who turn away in disgust, not even to himself in the privacy of his small wooden shack that leans dangerously over the lagoon's edge. The camera follows Uzoma as he carefully carves the hull of a canoe, his hands moving in fluid rhythm. The wood responds to his touch as if it understands him. Around him, other boat makers laugh and gossip, but they give Uzoma a wide berth. There he is, whispers a young woman carrying fish in a basin on her head. The cursed one. Her friend clutches her wrapper tighter. My mother says he's possessed. That's why he cannot speak. The water spirits took his voice. I heard his whole family drowned in a storm, adds a third woman. And he alone survived because he made a dark bargain. The women hurry past, making the sign against evil. Uzoma hears everything. His eyes flicker with something, pain, resignation, but he continues working, his silence deeper than the lagoon itself. Later that morning, Uzoma walks through Ojo Market carrying a beautifully crafted paddle he hopes to sell. The market bursts with life. Traders shouting prices, children darting between stalls, the smell of roasted plantain and fresh fish thick in the air. Uzoma approaches Mama Ngozi, a wealthy trader known for her canoe rental business. He presents the paddle. Intricate carvings of fish and waves dance along its surface. Mama Ngozi examines it with an expert eye. It is magnificent work. How much, she asks. Uzoma writes a number in the dust with his finger, 5,000 naira. Mama Ngozi's face hardens. I will not do business with one who cannot speak his price aloud. How do I know you won't curse my boats? She spits to the side. Take your silence elsewhere, Uzoma Silva. You are bad for business. She turns away, and her workers follow her lead, laughing at Uzoma as he stands there, paddle in hand, humiliation burning in his chest. A young girl, perhaps 7 years old, tugs her mother's wrapper. Mama, why is that man sad? The mother slaps the girl's hand away. Do not look at him, Shinyu. Do not ever accept anything from him. That man is empty inside. Uzoma watches them go. His expression never changes, but his grip on the paddle tightens until his knuckles turn pale. As evening falls and Uzoma returns to his shack empty-handed, he finds someone waiting for him. Mama Ekwensu sits on a stool by his door, an ancient woman whose age no one can guess. Her eyes are milky white, yet she sees more than those with clear vision. She is a diviner, feared and respected in equal measure. Uzoma Silva, she says in a voice like dried leaves rustling. Or should I say, the one who does not yet know his name? Uzoma stiffens, but does not approach. 32 years you have lived in silence. Mama Ekwensu continues. 32 years these people have mocked you, rejected you, feared you. But you are not cursed, child. No, no, no. She laughs, a sound like cracking branches. She stands with surprising agility and walks toward him, her blind eyes seeming to pierce his soul. Your silence is not empty. It is waiting, waiting for the one who will unlock it. And when that key turns, Uzoma Silva, the world will remember who you truly are. She presses something into his hand, a cowrie shell, warm despite the evening cool. Keep this. When the time comes, you will know what to do. Before Uzoma can react, she vanishes into the gathering darkness, leaving only the scent of incense and mystery. Uzoma looks at the shell in his palm. In the fading light, he could swear he sees symbols carved into its surface, symbols he cannot read but somehow recognizes. Unable to sleep, Uzoma takes his unsold paddle to the night market, a place where different rules apply, where those who operate in shadows do their business. Here, under flickering kerosene lamps and the suspicious eyes of night traders, Uzoma finally finds a buyer. A scarred man named Osaze who runs an illegal gambling boat. Osaze examines the paddle and nods. Fine work. Too fine for someone like you. He counts out bills. Tell me, Silent One, what happened to your voice? Did you sell it for skill? Uzoma simply takes the money and turns to leave. But Osaze grabs his arm. I heard a story once, he says quietly, his breath reeking of cheap gin, about a royal family from the old coast. They say when the British came with their ships and their guns, that family tried to escape. They loaded their treasures onto a boat and sailed into a storm. Uzoma's entire body goes rigid. The boat went down. Everyone died. Or so they say. Osaze leans closer. But what if one survived? What if that survivor was cursed to forget who he was? To live in silence among those who would have once bowed to him? Osaze releases Uzoma's arm. Just stories? But stories have a way of being true. He gestures to the shell visible in Uzoma's pocket, especially when the ancestors start sending signs. Uzoma hurries away, his heart pounding. Behind him, Osaze watches with calculating eyes, then makes a phone call. Yes, it's him, the one you've been searching for. That night, Uzoma dreams. He stands not in Lagos, but on an ancient shore. The sand is white as bone, the sea impossibly blue. Before him rises a magnificent compound. High walls, carved gates, the banner of a kingdom he doesn't recognize, yet feels he should. A woman walks toward him. She is regal, dressed in coral beads and indigo cloth. Her face is kind but sad. Ifeanyi, she says. My son, my silent son. That's not my name. Uzoma tries to say, but no sound comes out, not even in the dream. The woman smiles. Names are given by those who understand their meaning. You were given Uzoma because you were found near the water with nothing but silence. But you were born Ifeanyi. Nothing is greater than God. And you were born for greatness. She takes his hand and leads him to the water's edge. Beneath these waves lies the truth of who you are. A shell of prophecy, a shell that forces truth from lies. But to claim it, you must be willing to face what was lost. The water begins to churn. Something rises from the depths, a massive shape, dark and terrible. What is it? Uzoma mouths. Your past, the woman whispers. And it is hungry. Uzoma wakes with a gasp, drenched in sweat. Dawn light filters through the cracks in his shack. The cowrie shell mama Ekwensu gave him glows faintly on his sleeping mat, then fades to normal. Uzoma knows, with certainty, that everything has changed. Enter Amara Okafor, a 30-year-old investigative journalist for a small online publication called Lagos Untold. She is sharp, determined, and obsessed with uncovering the hidden myths and forgotten stories of West Africa. Amara has heard whispers about Uzoma, the silent boat maker with the supernatural reputation. She sees a story here, something that could make her career. She finds Uzoma at his workshop, camera ready. Uzoma Silva, she says brightly. My name is Amara. I write about urban legends and cultural mysteries. I'd love to talk to you about. Uzoma shakes his head and continues working. I know you don't speak. Amara continues, undeterred. But there are other ways to communicate. I've heard the stories about you. About the boats you build never sinking. About the paddle you made that rescued a drowning child even though no one was rowing. People say you're cursed, but I think you're something else entirely. Uzoma stops working and looks at her directly for the first time. His eyes are deep, ancient, holding worlds of unspoken words. Amara pulls out a notebook. I want to tell your story. The real story. Will you help me? Uzoma hesitates, then picks up a piece of charcoal. On a smooth plank of wood, he writes, Why do you care? Amara smiles. Because everyone deserves to be heard, even those who cannot speak. Something in Uzoma softens. He writes again, You won't believe the truth. Try me, Amara challenges. Over the following days, Amara visits Uzoma regularly. They develop a language. He writes, she reads, and slowly a friendship forms. One evening, as they sit by the lagoon watching the sun set, Amara asks the question that has haunted her. Why can't you speak? Is it physical? Psychological? Spiritual? Uzoma writes, I don't know. I've always been this way. Or at least, I cannot remember being any other way. Don't you want to know who you are? Where you came from? Uzoma stares at the water for a long time. Then he picks up his charcoal and, on a new piece of wood, writes something that makes Amara's blood run cold. If I write down a wish before sleep, I dream the answer. What do you mean? I discovered it years ago by accident. Whatever I write manifests in my dreams as truth. But the dreams are dangerous. They show me things I'm not ready to see. Amara leans forward, journalist instinct on fire. How often have you done this? 3 times. Each time, I woke up knowing something I shouldn't. Once, I wrote, "Where is the stolen money?" and dreamed of the exact location, under the pastor's church. The next day, police found it. They never knew it was me who tipped them off. That's incredible. Why haven't you used it more? The next morning begins like any other. Fishermen preparing nets, traders setting up stalls, children playing in the shallow water. Then a scream shatters the peace. A young boy has found something washed up on the shore. By the time Uzoma and Amara arrive, a crowd has gathered, people pointing and gasping. Lying in the wet sand is a human skeleton picked clean by fish and time. But what freezes everyone's blood is what's carved into the skull's forehead. Ifeanyi. The name is unmistakable, carved with precision, the letters ancient but readable. Mama Ngozi, the trader who rejected Uzoma's paddle, points a shaking finger at him. This is his doing. His witchcraft. He has brought death to our shore. Others take up the cry. The silent one is a wizard. He speaks to bones. He killed this person, and now the spirit has come for revenge. The crowd becomes a mob, advancing on Uzoma. He backs away, his face pale with shock, his eyes fixed on the skeleton, on his name carved in bone. Amara steps between Uzoma and the crowd. Stop. This is a historical find, not witchcraft. I'm documenting everything. But the mob doesn't listen. Someone throws a stone. Another picks up a plank. Uzoma turns and runs. Uzoma and Amara take shelter in an abandoned warehouse by the wharf. Outside, they can hear people searching, calling for the silent witch. That skeleton, Amara says, her hands shaking as she reviews the photos on her camera. The name carved on it. Ifeanyi, is that you? Uzoma nods slowly. But how? How can a skeleton from the past have your name? Unless. Her eyes widen. Unless you're much older than you look. Unless you're not entirely human. Or unless. Uzoma picks up a broken piece of mirror from the ground and hands it to her. What am I supposed to see? He points to his reflection, then to her, then back to himself. Amara studies him in the failing light. And suddenly she sees it, something she should have noticed before. Uzoma doesn't quite look like everyone else. His features are right, but there's something timeless about him, something that doesn't fit the modern world. You're from another time, she whispers. Aren't you? That skeleton, it's not yours. It's someone who knew you. Someone from the past. Uzoma writes frantically. The dream showed me drowning. A ship going down. Screams. Fire. Then nothing. Then waking up on a beach with no memory, no voice, no name. Just silence. That was 32 years ago. But in the dream, the ship went down over 100 years ago. Amara sits back, her mind reeling. So you're what? Immortal? Cursed to live without aging? Without memory? I don't know what I am. But that skeleton came because I asked to know the truth. And now the truth is hunting me. A noise outside, footsteps, voices getting closer. We need to leave Lagos, Amara says. We need to find out what really happened. That skeleton came from somewhere. There must be records, stories, something. Where would we even start? Amara pulls out her phone and searches frantically. The shipwreck. If it happened over 100 years ago, there would be records. British colonial records, local legends. She finds something. Here. The Royal Tragedy of Akwete Coast, 1891. The last king of the Akwete Kingdom attempted to flee British annexation with his family and royal treasures. The ship was lost in a storm. No survivors. She looks up at Uzoma. Akwete. Have you ever heard of it? Uzoma's hands shake as he writes. In my dreams, the woman calls me Prince of Akwete. But I thought they were just dreams. They're not dreams, Amara says firmly. They're memories. And we need to go to Akwete. We need to find out what really happened and why you're still alive. As they prepare to slip away under cover of darkness, Uzoma's phone, a basic model he rarely uses, buzzes with a text from an unknown number. Prince Ifeanyi, your silence has protected you for 134 years. But now that you're awake, they will come for what you carry. The shell is not a gift. It is a key, and someone wants to unlock what it guards. Run while you can, or remember while you can. Either way, your silence ends soon. Amara reads it over his shoulder. Who sent this? Uzoma shakes his head. He doesn't know. But as they step out into the night, a figure watches from the shadows. Osaze, the gambling boat operator, speaks into his phone. They're leaving Lagos. Should we follow? A woman's voice responds, cold, commanding. Let them go to Akwit. Let them find the shell. When they discover its power, we'll take it. And him. Osaze grins in the darkness. And the journalist? She knows too much. When the time comes, she'll have to disappear too. Some silences protect, others imprison. Uzoma's silence has kept him alive for over a century. But the truth has a way of surfacing, and so do the dead. Watch out for episode 2 if this story inspires you, and make sure you leave a subscribe button.